some saying Raiders stay here forever. That's outside the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Hello again, everyone. I'm Howard Cosell. Regardless of what's happening outside, traffic jam or boycotters, they'll all be in here for a key game in the AFC West.
The Denver Broncos right now 7-5 on the year, and of course Oakland 8-4. San Diego, the players down there with a win over Philadelphia yesterday. We're looking on tonight, and a win by Oakland, and they'll move back into a tie with the San Diego Chargers AFC West. So both these teams in the AFC West. Set to go. Chris Barr will bang it for the Oakland Raiders. Deep is Brunson. The Denver Broncos takes it on the short hop. Does Brunson? Running room and moves out over the 25-yard line. And let's meet the offensive unit of the Denver Broncos. We talked about Craig Morton, the 37-year-old veteran. He, of course, is the quarterback. And as we look at the setbacks, you have to reflect over the injuries that have plagued Denver for the year. They have not had one running back that has not missed at least 2 games. Offensively, Claudio Minor missed a couple of weeks ago, breaking a long-time starting streak. And tonight, they are going to be without the services in all probability of number 25, Haven Moses, the veteran wide receiver. They are coming with, well, basically a rookie, Steve Watson, number 81. 1st and 10, and Morton to the air. Feels the pressure, tries to go deep, and his receiver down there turning back was Steve Watson, and Craig under pressure, step back in, just released the ball. No Bronco receiver in the area. Defensively, and you'll see some situation substitution tonight. You'll see a lot of these 3 up front, but you'll also see Willie Jones, Cedric Hardman on the pass rush. Those are your linebackers, and they've got a great performance this year out of Randy McClanahan and Matt Millen, the rookie out of Penn State. Your cornerback, well, Monty Jackson will not be out there, not at least to start of right corner. Dwayne Osteen, picked up from Rams early in the year, is at right cornerback. He wears number 35. 2nd down and 10, the ball just over the 25-yard line. And off goes to Dave Preston, and Dave Preston to the 30-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and about 6, and you'll see the substitutions come in on the part of the Oakland Raiders as they begin to think in terms of pass.
Frank, you mentioned how the Broncos have been hampered by injuries. Of course, you will not be saying, as one evidence, Otis Armstrong. Out for the rest of the year, injured reserve. Maybe the whole career over because of potential damage to the spine that could result in paralysis.
Cedric Hardman, Willie Jones, defensively for the Oakland Raiders. They're the designated pass rushers. 3rd down, 7. Kicked off. Taken there by Burgess Owens, the free safety, as it was deflected into his arm. Burgess Owens scrambling around. A flag is down as Owens gets the turnover, returns it down to the 42-yard line of Denver.
The Raiders feel that that man, Burgess Owens, has been a steadying influence in the backfield and is a team leader. One thing they know is a great one-on-one tackler.
1st down and 10. Rod Martin defensively clipping for Oakland. They move the ball back to the Oakland Raiders 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Kenny King, another Raider who was acquired this year from the Houston Oilers and has performed great. Gets a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd and 8 as we look at the offensive unit. We told you a little bit about Plunkett. It's a great story that will develop during the course of the game. Many thought he was washed up. We talked about it before. Wide receivers, the speed man, of course, Cliff Branch, and the man who works underneath so well, Bob Chandler. And, of course, the veteran Raymond Chester at the tight end. Of course, Dave Casper, traded several weeks ago with the Oakland Raiders to the Houston Oilers. They have a lot of acquirees to the Oakland Raiders, and they have done well with them. 2nd and 8, safety blitz, picked up, and it's a running play to Kenny King. And that's what happens when you go with the blitz and you get the running back to the line of scrimmage. And Kenny King, 1st down, Oakland, down to the 43-yard line. And already you see the statistics start to show, and as I mentioned earlier, defensively, Denver has had a tough time against the rush. And let's meet the front 3 that we'll see. The Denver Broncos 3-4. We'll see substitutions, of course, there. And they, too, have had many troubles at their linebacking position. Joe Rizzo out for the season. Bob Svensson, a great linebacker, has not been able to play all year long. So 1st down and 10. The Oakland Raiders. And the football off to Mark Van Eegen. And Mark Van Eegen making his 101st start for the Oakland Raiders. That's his 101st consecutive game he's played for the Raiders. Gets up for a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Again, we told you at the top of the show, they was an intended boycott. How effective, we don't know. We saw people outside in the parking lot. They were going to wait 5 minutes before they came in protest to the intended move of the Oakland Raiders. Again, the reference to the Oakland Raiders attempt to move from Oakland. So they've been a smashing success, both artistically and in terms of sellouts for over a decade, in their attempt to move to Los Angeles.
Interesting scene, isn't it? Well, I saw the most profitable team in all of baseball, the Brooklyn Dodgers, move to Los Angeles. I saw one of the most profitable teams in the history of football, the Giants, move to Jersey.
Third down, 5. As we begin the final 2 minutes of the half. Plunkett lost it in the area of Cliff Branch. Cliff Branch covered nicely by Perry Smith. So it'll be 4th down, and out will come Ray Guy, who's exercised his leg with frequency tonight. Ray Guy counting off to make sure he has 11 men on the field, or at least 11. Rick Upchurch drops for the Broncos with great respect as he positions himself at Denver's 15-yard line. At this point, a few minutes ago, Ray Guy kicked it out of bounds at Denver's 11-yard line when he hit a 53-yarder. Looks to me that they were offsides. Flag is down. Ray Guy, I don't believe, caught the corner with this one. Again, it'll be a procedure call, I believe, against the Oakland Raiders. Not to be too serious. Jim Dempsey, number 30, comes in.
The L.A. traded. Some of the feeling of Oakland fans who for years have supported this team with packed houses. They don't want to lose their team.
We showed you the stadium at the beginning of the show, primarily because of the traffic problems. It was about half empty. And, of course, because of an intended boycott for the first 5 minutes of this game in protest for the attempted move to Los Angeles by the Oakland Raiders. Now you can see it's a sellout crowd telecast in the area, the first sellout for Oakland this year. And, of course, they've had over a decade of sellouts. First down, Kenny King. Oh, Kenny King motors all the way down to the 6-yard line. He gets the first down.
Oh, did you see him accelerate through that hole?
Wet. He did that, but he also, one of the few backs, he got out to where the hole was very quick, too. Watch this. Van Egan is leading. Kenny goes to the outside. Now he sees this thing begin to form. A good block right there by Van Egan on the outside. Just give him a little daylight. Coming right back in. He is a good black. He's a good back.
And the crowd applauds as they rise to their feet. The quarter expires here in Oakland, California. And we'll be back with second quarter action in just a moment.
The signs speak for themselves, Frank. Some of those who were outside, their feelings are understandable. The matter too complex to be detailed legally during the course of a game, and that's no cop-out. The courts will decide. That's an interesting shot right there. Plunkett with Pastorini. I had a piece of chicken, shared a piece with Dan before the game. He said, I'm ready to play. I've been ready to play for 3 weeks. But it doesn't appear he's going to be activated. No intent here to knock down Jim Plunkett, who's a fine man, has been through so much.
At a football game, all say save the Raiders. Again, the reference to the Oakland Raiders attempt to move from Oakland. So they've been a smashing success, both artistically and in terms of sellouts for over a decade, in their attempt to move to Los Angeles.
Interesting scene, isn't it?
Unless that is, Denver decides to respecting Ray as the classical coach, started 9 years at the high school, college level, went to this game so vital to both these ball clubs, particularly Denver. They would just about drop out of it. You look at the standings in the AFC West. San Diego, as Howard alluded to a moment ago, with a 1-point win over Dick Vermeil's Philadelphia Eagles yesterday. They're on top at 9-4. They must be watching tonight. And then they close with the Giants, the Oakland Raiders. Out of the shotgun, Morton. 2nd and 8, hang it up and look for a flag. Is this? And it's taken by Lester Hayes, and that is Lester Hayes' 11th interception of this season, and he is bringing it back. Time has expired. They could not get the field goal opportunity as time expires on the run back. Dave Studdard made the stop defensively for Denver. But Lester Hayes, he is something else. That's his 18th interception in less than 2 years. You think he's not all pro? Again, time expired on the run back, so Oakland unable to attempt the field goal. Let's look at it again. It was just a throw it up there in the direction of Upchurch and Watson. Hope you might get a deflection and a reception or get a penalty. And even though time might have expired, you would have on the defensive foul an opportunity for the field goal. Such is not the case, however. And the team moves into the locker room. Stay with us for our hack time highlights coming your way.
With all of its reclamation projects, King was of a different nature. A young player that he had wanted from the beginning.
I think you're right. I've never seen this much of that goop put on in my life.
Fred Biletnikoff used it that way.
But not that much, Frank. That's got to be against the law, isn't it?
Well, it sure is messy. Yuck on the laundry. That's called stickum, like pine tar. Kenny King, outside. Remember, the first half, they had a first and goal at the 6. Plunkett on a rollout. He ought to be able to run it in. He did it. Jim Plunkett rolling out and runs into the corner of the end zone. Tom Jackson pulled him down from behind, but Plunkett gets in, and Oakland is on the scoreboard, and they take the lead.
He had Big Joe Campbell. You see Greg Boyd, number 77, read it, but he read it a little bit late. He's trying to come back on the outside. Plunkett says, let's just get it in gear and go the best I can. Number 57 is Jackson, is the guy that makes the move there.
On first down, Morton dumps it to Jensen, and Jensen puts it up in the arms of Rod Martin, intercepted Oakland.
I can't believe that. That is unreal.
Bobbles the ball, and Rod Martin very alert. His hair, and you see the dejection on the part of Craig Morton as Oakland has great field position inside the 30-yard line of Denver.
Well, he had an interception earlier. This is his third tonight, but the first one also went through the arms of Riley Odom, but this one was caught, it appears, by Jensen. Takes a couple of steps, pulls it back around. Wait a minute, you handle that thing. It's too hot for me.
That probably will be ruled an interception because Jensen never had control of it, and that will go down in Curley's record. Of course, Craig unhappy with it.
Big John Matusa. Too small for this game, as Don said.
He doesn't look mean either, does he?
6'8", 280. Let me tell you, he's a great reclamation story. He had a lot of personal problems, cleaned them all up, dedicated now.
43-yard attempt. Chris Barr, Matt's little brother, holding his breath. Sanders puts it down.
There you go.
So Oakland has a 9-3 lead. 13:06 remaining in the game, a vital game for both ball clubs. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Down, a little more than 2 to go for a first. Morton picked off. Goodbye. Picked out off by Dwayne Osteen, the former Ram. He was there.
Went through Rod Martin's hands first.
Rod Martin was out covering the intended receiver. Was kicked into the air, and Dwayne Osteen came up with it.
He ran out of magic this time. Had a little bit of time to throw, trying to get it out to Rob Lytle. See, it was deflected. It was not Martin, as a matter of fact.
Otis McKinney.
Otis McKinney, and then Osteen was there in the back.
So now Denver can only stop the clock one time with their one remaining timeout. Denver, the rest of their season. Next Sunday at Kansas City, that won't be easy for them. Then they have Oakland once again at home. Final seconds ticking off. This game goes into the record book. The Oakland Raiders, 9-3 over the Denver Broncos. And Oakland and San Diego, who have split, they will not meet again this season. Should they wind up in a tie, it will be determined by their record.